Just going to drink some water before I start because it's fucking hot, man. Like London, it will heat in a heat wave. Honestly, I know a lot of people that hate this weather, and they would rather drag their balls over broken glass than sit inside an English house during a heat wave. It's like 35, 36 degrees today. If you can hear the fan blowing next to me, I make no apologies. It's too fucking hot. I had to put clothes on to make this video as well, which some of you might be disappointed about. Some of you, most of you, should be thankful for. So, I don't want to talk about the English heat. That's boring. I want to talk about building muscle and the three main things that you have to do in order to build muscle. Simple, isn't it? Three things. I mean, effectively, it's just train hard, rest well, and eat right. But there's obviously a bit more to it than just those things. But if you can nail those three things, you will grow muscle tissue. But a lot of people either don't do one or all three of them things very well. Either too impatient, they don't rest enough, or they don't train hard enough, or they just eat shit and they just get fat. And it's not how the muscle works when it comes to wanting to build real muscle. You want to actually put all them three things into practice, as well as a long period of time, because you don't grow muscle overnight. So with my clients, minimum growth phase I would do is 6 months if they're assisted, longer than that if they're not assisted. Being assisted doesn't really count for anything during this video. It's just a recovery tool, which you're not going to go into depth with about. But we are going to talk a little bit scientific, but mainly in plain English so you understand exactly what to do. First and foremost, you have to train fucking hard and train as close to failure as possible. You don't have to train necessarily to failure every single time, but close to failure. The closer you train to failure or at failure, the more tension has gone through that muscle. The more tension that goes through the muscle, it basically means that the muscle has to adapt to the new forces that are being put through it. And that's how it gets bigger. That's how it effectively, the body grows. So if you are looking to train hard, think about mechanical tension. You want to get everything out of the muscle as much as possible in order to put as much force through it as much as possible. That's why, typically speaking, 1 or 2 reps isn't going to be great for muscle growth. Sure, you can recruit a lot of fibers in order to gain strength, but we're not looking to gain strength, we're looking to grow muscle tissue. Sometimes you hear this stupid ideology that the biggest bodybuilders are the strongest bodybuilders. No, that's not true. It's the bodybuilders who are consistent over a long period of time, putting force through the muscles, are the best. The byproduct of growing good muscle tissue. Did you hear that? The byproduct of growing good muscle tissue is strength, because you have to keep putting more stress through the muscle over a long period of time. And also do that, yes, the weights will have to increase, but you're not chasing strength for strength's sake. So training hard is the most important thing by far. You have to really stress the muscle. Typically speaking, anywhere between 6 to 12 rep range is a great place for hypertrophy. You just want to put a lot of force in to a muscle. So if you're going to be aiming for 10 reps on something, the first 5 reps, it should be challenging, but not too much. It's the last 5 reps that really make the muscle work. That's where the growing really happens. So the closer you can get to failure, the more stress you put through the muscle, the more the muscle will grow. Secondly, rest. Rest is so important. So important. I never get my clients to train more than 3 days in a row. It just doesn't happen, because you'll be fucked by the 4th session and you just won't be able to give it your all because you'll be too tired. Also, you don't allow the body to grow. You grow the muscles in a rest phase, not whilst you're training, because you can't grow something that's physically working and being exhausted. You need a time to rest, recover, and then grow. So the science behind it is you get immune cells who clean up the damaged tissue, basically. Stem cells activated, and protein synthesis is increased by pushing new fibers into the muscle, and that's how the muscle gets bigger. The more fibers, the bigger the muscle. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. But that can only happen during a rest period. So Yes, you do need to train very hard, as we have covered, but you need to rest just as hard. The best growth I've seen from people are people who take 2 to 3 rest days a week in a proper building phase. So how I program my clients to train and to grow is I have a look at your physique, analyze what are your strengths, what are the weaknesses. Weaknesses need more attention. That would be trained twice a week. Everything else would be trained once a week. So you get 2 rest days. Typically speaking, you'll train, say, Monday, Tuesday, rest Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, rest Sunday, or train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, rest Thursday, train Friday, Saturday, rest Sunday. Best way to do it. I'm a firm believer in having like a full rest day as well. So on Sundays, I rarely get, even during uh, clients who are cutting, I rarely get them to do any cardio on a Sunday or weight train on a Sunday. Just track your steps, eat your food, and chill the fuck out. Because rest is really, really important. The people who don't grow at the best rate are the ones who overtrain and underrest. So they will train like 6 days a week, for example. Also, they will be doing too many exercises and too many sets on a given day. So if you're training chest and you're doing 10 exercises and 3 sets on each, you're doing 30 sets on your chest. It's going to take a long time for that to recover. But then you're going to be doing the same thing to your shoulders, your arms, your legs, and your back. So there is so much fatigue on the body that you're not having enough rest for it to actually grow. Where if you actually click on to my Insta bio and sign up to find out exactly how to train properly, especially your chest, master your muscle growth, just pop your email address in and it'll be sent to you. It's a YouTube video that will tell you exactly how to train. It's a full chest session where it's only 5 exercises and it's 9 sets all together. Weird numbers, I know, but I've had phenomenal growth in my chest by doing this. My clients have phenomenal growth in their chest by doing this. You can too, as long as you rest well, train hard. And number 3, eat right. It isn't just a case of calories in, calories out, because if that was the case, you could just have 3,000 calories off of McDonald's every day and grow. Probably could to an extent, but the quality of the calories, the micronutrients, the lack of protein in all of that won't help with muscle growth. You have to eat right. Protein, of course, is king. You always need high amounts of protein in your diet. High amount of protein doesn't necessarily mean you need to have 2 whole chickens a day, but you do need to space them out. Typically speaking, for guys, 40 to 50 grams of protein per meal. For girls, 30 to 40 grams, just to be on the safe side, because even though you might be eating more protein than your body might necessarily require, your body's never going to get rid of the protein. It's just going to use it later. It takes longer to digest it and absorb it, but it will all be used. Protein's king, especially for muscle growth. Secondly, carbohydrates and fats. They are both energy sources for the body. Of course, carbs are king. Quick absorbing carbs and proteins post-workout are the best way to go. You want something that's going to push the carbs into the muscles. So you're going to use the carbs to push the proteins into the muscles as quickly as possible. How do we do that? Bowl of cereal. I know, right? Have a bowl of Cocoa Pops, get a protein shake, mix with water, pour it in, eat it. There's your carbs and protein. There's your recovery meal. Very, very simple. Before you train, you do want some fats to help break down the digestion of carbs, slow them down so you have energy throughout your session, because the fats have helped release the carbs at a slower rate. Be anything you want, absolutely anything you want. I have a massive bowl of oats, there's peanut butter in it and protein. It's easy, it's quick, it's tasty, and it fucking works. Also, you do need to eat in a calorie surplus to gain muscle tissue. How much of a surplus is usually person dependent, but it's only a really slight one. It's only a slight one. The best way to track your growth, to track how much of a surplus you're in, is if you know what your maintenance calories are, start 10% above that and then monitor your weight. You want to grow between 0.25 and 0.5 kilos a week. Anything more than that, you're in too much of a surplus. You need to bring it down, otherwise you're going to get too fat, you'll be insulin resistant, and you won't be able to grow muscle tissue properly. well, not at a good rate anyway. Or obviously, if you're maintaining your weight or going below your current weight, then you need to up your food. But the 0.25 to 0.5 kilos a week is perfect for muscle growth, because you ideally want to be starting from your leanest state, the way you have the least amount of body fat, and then grow from there. Because if you can do that and maintain the 0.25 to 0.5 kilos a week growth, you're going to stay lean and you're going to grow muscle tissue. Really fucking hot. So if you can train hard, rest well, and eat right, you will grow muscle. Now, what's the perfect split? Again, it's person dependent. I have a long-time client who just finished a diet phase. His shoulders, arms, and chest are really fucking good. Really, really good. His legs need a bit more of attention. So I suggested to him that we do a push day, and then we can do 2 leg and 2 back days effectively, split up across the week. He'd never done a push day before, trialed it for a few weeks, and he didn't like it, didn't get on with it, because there's too much tension on his rotator cuffs, which is fine. That's personally why I will never do a push-pull legs split, because of that exact reason. Putting too much tension on my chest and my shoulders on the same session, it's more harm than good. And he felt the same. So we changed it, went back to singular shoulder session, singular chest session, and he's still hitting back and legs twice a week, and he started to see some great growth. There is no such thing as a perfect split for anybody. It's very person dependent. It's not one clear thing. If you like doing push-pull legs and you get on well with it, brilliant. If you like doing individual body parts and you get on well with it, brilliant. I'd always advocate doing one or 2 body parts in one session, i.e. chest and biceps, shoulders and triceps, and then back by themselves, legs by themselves, because they're all bigger muscle groups. I'm a big advocate of doing everything properly once, and then have a top-up session where that's where we focus the attention. So if you as a client and your shoulders were lacking, shoulders get hits twice, everything else get hits once. That way, you know for a fact that you're destroying your whole body once a week. And because of the style of training that I get my clients to do, training one body part once a week is sufficient enough. It's really sufficient enough. Believe me, it's hard. But the harder you train, the more you get out of it. What we spoke about at the start of the video. So the harder you train, the more you get out of it. Really push yourself, test yourself. Especially if you're doing machine-based movements where you just have to drop a pin down. Try a heavier weight. Make sure your form is perfect, but try a heavier weight. You might surprise yourself. And if you can't do something because it's a bit too heavy, then drop it down and then start again. It's not the end of the world. I would rather somebody fail in the right way, i.e. push themselves with perfect form, than just go all out, shit form, but manage to lift something heavy up. That's not what we want for muscle growth. We want to put stress through the muscle by challenging ourselves every session. Remember, progression is based on more reps on a certain weight or more weight on a certain exercise. If you can do that, coupled with fantastic nutrition and plenty of rest, you will grow like a motherfucker. And if you want help growing, you want help making up the perfect diet, you want help making up the perfect exercise plan, let's talk. I'm taking on one-to-one clients, love to work with you, and I promise you, once I teach you how to train properly, sort out your nutrition, make sure you're resting right, you will see your body change. Well, you'll see your body change. I was going to say between now and the end of the year, but depending on where you watch it, whenever you're ready to sign up, I want to work with you to get you as big as possible. So then by the time next summer comes around, because the day of recording it's the summertime and it's hot, and we've done a bulking phase and a diet phase, and you're looking bigger and leaner than ever, you will know that these 3 principles of training, resting, and eating well were the reason behind it.